Time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Theard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you.
Our house in the middle of our street.
From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for The Real Estate Connection, Stephen Theard.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Real Estate Connection. You have to excuse me, I have a hoarse voice, and there's a long story why I have this hoarse voice, and maybe I'll get into the episode. But welcome to the program, welcome to another episode of The Real Estate Connection, brought to you by our sponsor, Good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership. And oh, by the way, hey, I'm looking for other sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor of the show and like to get a shout out, have your logo on here, or a link into the podcast or advertisement for the podcast, let me know, or even be a guest on the show if it's real estate or investment related. Reach out to me at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com. Let's talk about it, because outside support is what keeps the podcast going, and I really do appreciate all of my loyal listeners. All right, smile today. It's a beautiful day. It's raining in California. I haven't heard talk of drought in a while, maybe because the pandemic has overshadowed everything, but there's rain, and so that's good, and that deserves a round of applause. Thank you, Lord. All right, we have rain. All right, and so with that being said, it's time to jump into another episode of the podcast, The Real Estate Connection, and today we're going to talk about inflation. That's right, it's knocking at everyone's doorstep. If you've been at the gas pump or the grocery store, paid your water bill or your electric bill, at least here in California, you felt it closing in on you from all directions. And so I thought, well, what can you do about it? Really, you can't do anything about the inflation itself happening, but you can do things to hedge against it. And then a thought came to me, what could you do to increase the value of your home and at the same time create a hedge against inflation? All right. So I thought, why not talk about it today? And so that's what we're going to do. If you're new to the program and you've never watched or listened to The Real Estate Connection, I say watch because I am on YouTube. And by the way, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and that smash the like button and subscribe. Hit the little bell emoji so you can get notifications about the show coming on. And if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, like, and share. Maybe you create a watch party. I know my wife does that for me from time to time. Thank you, babe. I appreciate you so much. She's out running errands right now, and so she's probably not watching, but if you are, sweetheart, I love you, and thank you for all of your support. So back to the topic, and if you want to be on my podcast distribution list, send me an email at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and your email address, and I'd be happy to pop you onto that database. All of my past clients are on there, which reminds me I need to add a few more email addresses, and future prospects and friends and family and just fans of the show. So in regards to inflation, right? If you've been to the gas station, especially here in California, it is painful to put gas in your vehicle right now. I mean, the other day it was near $6 a gallon for super unleaded, and $5.75 a gallon for regular. And if you've got a gas tank over 14 gallons, you're pumping in $75-$80 to fill your gas tank. And it hurts. It hurts when just a couple of years ago, we were in the high twos, low threes in California, and some places in the United States in the high ones and mid twos to fill up your gas tank per gallon. And then if you go to the grocery store, you've got milk and eggs going up in price. You're even seeing some supply chain issues with things on the shelf that you can't get. And then you've got the price of beef the price of protein going up, fish, and all that stuff. And then on top of it, you have the price of utilities going through the roof as well. The cost of heating oil throughout the United States, gas, electricity, and especially in California where they're trying to go green, but there aren't enough solar panels to really supply um, electricity to the entire state. We have a high population state and a very large state. And California is the size of most, like North Carolina and South Carolina combined. Another large state would be Florida and Texas. And trying to power the entire state with solar panels alone and supplemental is hard. And so we've had rolling blackouts for the last couple of years. But the price of electricity is going up, not only for that, but also the wildfires that we've had, and the fact that PG&E was sued, and they lost their lawsuit. And because of losing the lawsuit, they've passed along the cost of that lawsuit to us, the consumer. So, those are all the things. And now you're dealing with interest rates going up. We're in the 5% range for interest rates. We haven't seen that number in years. And the cost of borrowing money is up. So it's just everywhere. So what can you do? What can you do to improve your real estate property, and hedge against inflation? Now, you may already be thinking what I'm going to be saying, but it's true. Okay. These are things that you can do to your property that will help you hedge against the cost of inflation and the cost of goods at the store, and then increase the value of the home. And the number one thing that I want to talk about is farming. Creating your own garden space on your property. Now, most people in the United States of America and in California have a front yard and a backyard, and most of our front yards consist of grass. But if you really think about it, is grass the most efficient use of land around your house, especially when you're going to the grocery store and you're paying almost 25, 30, 40% more for fresh fruits and vegetables than you did last year. And so if you have grass in your front yard and grass in your backyard, wouldn't it be a better use of space and more efficient as far as you being able to control your costs of food by turning those spaces into gardening areas? I've seen people actually tear up all their grass in their backyard, go through and apportion out space to space different parts of their property to grow different types of food, whether it's corn, whether it's potatoes, whether it's different types of vine variety fruits such as melons and cantaloupes, or beans, or zucchini, and tomato, and all sorts of peppers and things of that nature. This is the kind of stuff that you can do at your property, which will increase its value, because if inflation continues to go up over time and it becomes more and more expensive for you to just run to the grocery store and buy your fruits and vegetables, then this is a viable option for you as a family, and to get the family involved and work together as a team to grow different types of plants that you can eat and consume yourself at home. That also includes, especially since we live in California and we have this fantastic weather, this also includes fruit. So if we're talking about strawberries, we're talking about peaches, apples, pears, nectarines, oranges, right? All that kind of stuff. We have a season. And in the wintertime, believe it or not, we grow a lot of oranges in California. So you can juice them. You can make concentrate and freeze your juice concentrate. You can take your vegetables and can them, especially pickles, things of that nature. And there's lots of books out there that will provide different ways for you to do that. But this will also increase the value of your home. People will, if you get ready to sell your home, you can advertise that you are self-sustained. You grow your own food, all right, on your property, and it's available. People can just take over the garden. And then you can also team with other people in the neighborhood. Maybe you grow a certain plant, a certain vegetable, they grow another, and you trade. and you're trading back and forth, and you're saving money on spending at the grocery store, and you're canning and preserving. So what's another idea that you can do to increase the value of your home while hedging against inflation and saving money, right? Because we're talking about saving money. So the other thing is a rain catch system. You can put a rain catch system on your house, and when it does rain in California, you can capture that rain water and store it. You can either purify it and use it for drinking water purposes, or you can use it for watering your garden, that you're growing your own food so that you can sustain your own living. And so having that on your at your property is also something that can increase your value, right? Because you're like, hey, I grow my own food. It's already in place. You don't have to do a thing. Just take over the garden. Hey, I've got a rainwater capturing system. I can capture my own rainwater. You're saving money on watering the garden from that. And then another thing, and it may not be your thing, all right? I understand this is something that not everyone wants to do. But with the price of eggs going through the roof, you may consider becoming a backyard chicken farmer. Okay. It doesn't take that much space. Chickens can live in a small area of the backyard. You keep them caged. And along with providing eggs for the family so that you never have to go to the grocery store ever again and buy eggs, but you can also mulch and you can compost the chicken poop, and you can use it for fertilizer. Now, if you have 3, 4 chickens, you're going to have a lot of chicken poop. And if you have a front yard that still has grass, you can combine the grass with the chicken poop in a composter, and you can produce fertilizer. Now, with all the talk of fertilizer not coming out of Russia because of the conflict that we happen to be in, what if you became your own producer of fertilizer? Not only are you providing it for your own garden, but you would also be providing it for maybe the neighborhood. And maybe you could sell some of the extra fertilizer you have or the compost that you have to other people with gardens in the area and create a stream of income. So these are just a few of the ideas that you can use to increase the value of your home while hedging against inflation. Okay. Now, if you have a larger spot of land, and we're talking minimum of maybe 3/4 of an acre to an acre, you may consider getting a dairy cow, especially if you have young children and you are and they're drinking a lot of milk. You may consider getting a dairy cow, milking your own cow, having chickens for your own eggs. And then if you're so inclined and you want to actually be able to consume chicken protein, there are 2 varieties of chickens. There's egg-laying chickens and there are meat birds. There are birds that you use that you grow or harvest or um, I don't know, take care of till they get to be a certain age, and you harvest them for meat. A lot of people also do this with rabbits. So there are ways to increase the value of your home and be self-sufficient. The United States of America was put together on self-sufficiency. We were a farming agrarian society for a very long time, and we have a lot of land that we do not use. You have your whole entire front yard, you have your whole entire backyard. And if you're saying, Stephen, I don't have a yard, I don't have a backyard or a front yard, none of this means anything to me. Well, I will tell you, there are things called canvas grow bags. And if you have a patio in your condo or someplace where you get sunlight, you can buy these online from online retailers, and they will send you these canvas bags, and you go and buy soil. You fill them up and you plant plants in these bags. You can move them around to track the sun. They water, they drain really well, and you can create a garden in your backyard or on your balcony as long as you're not causing water issues for the people below. But there are ways to grow your own food even if you're living in a condominium or an apartment or a townhouse environment where you don't have a front or a backyard. Now, will you be able to have chickens or a cow? Not necessarily, but you could partner with people in the community to go out and either lease a plot of land or partner with people on a plot of dirt where you could go combine your talents and your abilities to have chickens, to have a cow, to have a steer or some sort of animal that you could butcher annually and share the meat. And you could also go in together and buy whole cows and split them with multiple families so that you're saving money. And this has gone beyond now, of course, increasing the value of your home. But I didn't want to just speak to homeowners in this because we're all in this together. We all are having to pay more at the pump. We all have to pay more at the grocery store. We all are seeing interest rates rising. Um, there may not be the increase in income at home or at your job, but whatever you can do to pull your resources together, either with family or friends, to help hedge against this economy is going to be helpful for you in the long run. So, again, if you want to increase the value of your home and you want to be able to be self sufficient and to be able to grow your own food, realize that you have a lot of land at your disposal. You have your front yard, you have your backyard. You can turn your backyard into a garden. You can portion off a part of your backyard for chickens. You can use the chicken poop to create a compost pile, which would then you can use for fertilizer in your garden. And you can do rain catching systems in order to capture the water that comes down from the sky that just goes down the drain. You just watch all this fresh water disappear, and then you're paying the utility for the water. Hey, capture it for yourself and use it for your own house. Do it. It's not that difficult to do. And then the most obvious thing is if you do have a ton of sunlight and you want to hedge against the high cost of electricity, you can go ahead and put solar panels on your house. But I will tell you, you need to buy them. Do not enter into power purchase agreements or leases for solar panels because one, when you get ready to move for whatever reason there is, it can be a nightmare to transfer the lease agreement from yourself to the new owners of your property. Dealing with this right now. I had a deal that closed escrow almost a month ago, and the solar company is still messing around trying to transfer the lease to the new owners. And my prior owners have received a bill because they were on automatic payment, even though they don't own the house anymore. So if you don't have the money to pay for the solar, either do a refinance on your property if you have some equity, pull out just enough to buy the solar and own it. This will increase the value of your house absolutely, right? You go to sell it and you go, yep, we have solar and we own it. We own it outright. Nope, there's no issues. You buy the house, you buy the solar. Even if you have to do a personal loan, go out and do some financing because when you sell the house, especially in California, you're going to get enough proceeds to pay off that loan anyway, and then it's going to increase the value of your home. So again, last but not least, of course, is solar. It's just that solar is the most obvious thing out there. The only caveat was, please listen to me as an experienced real estate professional who lists properties for the majority of my business. Dealing with solar transfers is a massive pain in the neck for the seller and the buyer when you do not own it and you lease it or you're doing what's called a power purchase agreement. Buy the thing, do the math, make sure it makes financial sense for you and your family, and then go out and just purchase it. And then when you're dealing in cash, maybe you can negotiate a better deal. Everything's up for negotiation as far as I'm concerned in the United States of America. People put a price on things and hey, offer something else. If they don't want to sell it to you, go on to the next guy, just do it. There's no law against negotiating for anything when you're purchasing stuff in this nation. So that's it. Thank you for joining me. Hey, if you found this information useful, or if you have any questions about your specific fact pattern and want to know what types of things you could do to your house to increase its value and have a hedge against this high cost of living, especially here in California, give me a call. Stephen Theard, the host of the Real Estate Connection and broker owner of Good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership. California DRE number 0170019. Give me a call at 408 408 472 0817. I'd be happy to talk to you more about it. And other than that, let me see. I have my going out coin here. I'm digging it out of my you hear that? Digging it out of my my desk. that's hidden to you guys. Where is it? Oh my goodness, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. All right, this is to close the show out. Again, thank you guys for joining me on another episode of the Real Estate Connection. It's a little challenge coin that I have. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's a little challenge coin, and there's a scripture on the back of it, and I read it at the end of every show, just to provide encouragement, because there's a lot going on in the world and in our local communities, and we've been going through a lot of change and can be stressful. So with that, I'd like to give you this. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Fear is a tactic of the enemy. Fear is used to make you scared, not move, not do things, not do what's right for yourself or your family sometimes, because you're afraid of all these potential things. And most of the time, none of that stuff ever happens. But do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged either. I'm just offering that. Don't be discouraged. Think of all the wonderful things that you have now instead of what you may not have. Think of what you have now, and it'll boost you up. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. So that's it for another episode of A Real Estate Connection with your host, Stephen Theard. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless the United States of America. And we'll see you on our next go around. Again, California DRE number 017-00019. If you want to reach out, I'm at 408-472-0817.
This has been The Real Estate Connection with Realtor and Certified Probate and Real Estate Specialist Stephen Theard. Licensed Cal DRE number 017-00019. For more information on this program, visit realestateconnectionradio.com. To contact Stephen directly, call 408-472-0817 or email info@realestateconnectionradio.com. And be sure to tune in next week at this time for The Real Estate Connection.